You tie the last knot on the bandage, and the golden retriever wags its tail. You smile and hand Mrs. Higgins the leash. She thanks you for staying late, gives you a check, and walks out into the rainy night. You lock the front door and flip the sign to closed. It has been a long shift, 12 hours on your feet. Then a fist slams against the glass. You look up. A man is standing outside, soaked from the rain, shaking and panicked. He's not holding a leash. He's carrying another man over his shoulder. One arm hangs limp, while the other presses a red towel against his stomach. The towel is completely soaked with blood. You point toward the hospital down the street. It is only 4 blocks away. They have real doctors, real equipment, and real medicine. You are just a veterinarian. But the man shakes his head. He pulls out a pistol and taps it against the glass. You unlock the door. They stumble inside, bringing mud, rainwater, and blood with them. Your quiet clinic turns into chaos. Blood smears across your clean floor as you help lift the injured man onto the exam table. It is a gunshot wound. You tell him you treat animals, not people. You fix broken paws, give rabies shots, remove ticks, and tell owners their pets need to lose weight. You have never done anything like this before. The gunman does not care. Fix him, he says. You look at the wound, then at your cabinets. You do not have human medicine. You do not have the right tools. You do not have the training. But you know you have no choice. Your hands shake as you grab a strong tranquilizer meant for horses, trying to work out a dose that will not kill him. You whisper a prayer before giving the injection. The dose is risky, but it works. The wounded man groans, his eyes roll back, and his body goes still on the table. You know you only have a short window before he wakes, so you move fast. You clean the wound, find the damage, and stitch him up with the same heavy nylon thread you use on large dogs. It is rough work, and you know it will leave a scar, but he survives. The gunman watches in silence the entire time. When you finish, he steps forward, pulls a thick envelope from his jacket, and tosses it onto the man's chest. "Keep your mouth shut," he says. Then he carries his friend out through the back door and disappears into the alley. You are left alone in the quiet clinic, your hands still shaking. Inside the envelope is $5,000 in cash. You think about calling the police. You think about the blood on the floor, the gun, the money in your hand. But the clinic is struggling. Bills are overdue. Rent is late. Your daughter's college fund is falling apart. And the man's cold eyes make one thing clear. People like that do not forget faces. So you clean the floor, throw away the bloody towels, and hide the money in the back of a filing cabinet. You tell yourself it is a one-time thing. 3 nights later, the phone rings at 2 a.m. A stranger says, "I heard you do good work. You should hang up. You should call the police." Instead, you think of the unpaid tuition bill on your kitchen counter. You give them the address. After that, more people come. A badly injured woman, a man with a shattered knee, another with burned hands. They all pay cash. They all leave through the back door. And little by little, your clinic becomes something else entirely. I can also make the next part match this same dramatic style. Most of the people who come to you are not criminals. Sometimes, yes, you see someone dangerous, someone with cold eyes, steady hands, and wounds that tell a story you do not want to know. But most of the time, it is ordinary people. A construction worker who fell and has no insurance. A mother who burned herself cooking and cannot afford to miss work. People with normal injuries and no way to pay hospital bills. That is how you justify it. You tell yourself you are helping. The money starts changing your life. You buy better equipment for the clinic, brighter lights, sharper tools, stronger supplies. You tell your ex-wife the clinic is finally doing well. She smiles and says she is happy for you. You even put money down for your daughter's first semester. In 3 months, you make more than you did in the last 2 years combined. Envelopes of cash pile up in your filing cabinet. And when that fills up, you start hiding money behind the water heater. You begin to feel useful, needed, like maybe this is what you were meant to do. That is your first mistake. One Thursday night, around 2 a.m., you finish treating a man with a dislocated shoulder. Easy job. Pop it back in, wrap it tight, hand over painkillers, collect the cash. You walk him out the back door, lock up, and head to your car. Then you see the black van. Too late. Its side door slides open. Two big men step out, silent and calm, like they have done this before. One of them pulls a bag over your head. Everything goes dark. They throw you into the van. After a short drive, they drag you inside a building. It smells like a real hospital. You hear doors open, footsteps in a hallway, then a chair scraping across the floor. The bag comes off. You are in a glass room. Beyond the glass is expensive medical equipment, an operating table, and a body lying on it. A man in a suit stands in front of you. You're the vet, the man says. He points to the patient on the table. He needs help. You look at the man lying there and instantly recognize him. Everyone in the city would. He is the man who controls the ports, the police, and almost everything that moves after dark. The city's crime boss. And he looks very sick. You shake your head and tell them you cannot do this. You explain that you treat dogs, cats, and sometimes desperate people with small injuries. But this is different. This is far beyond anything you can handle. The man in the suit does not react. For 3 months, you've kept people alive, he says. You did it with animal drugs and basic tools in a clinic meant for pets. This is just one more mammal. You insist this man needs a real surgeon, a real hospital, someone fully trained. The suited man steps closer. Hospitals ask questions, he says. We don't like questions. Then a guard steps forward. You had not even noticed him before. Now his hand rests on the gun at his side. Mammals are mammals, the suited man says. Begin. You scrub your hands. A nurse in scrubs appears beside you. Then you step into the glass room. The crime boss lies on the table. You check the monitor and quickly understand the problem. Internal bleeding. You have seen it before in animals hit by cars or falling from high places. You look through the glass and say, if I do this, I have to start now. The suited man nods. The nurse hands you the tools. You hover over the man's stomach for a moment and freeze. You know who he is. You know the stories. The lives ruined. The families destroyed. The people who disappeared after crossing him. And for 1 second, you think about doing nothing, just long enough to let fate decide. Then you think of your daughter, her smile, her laugh, the way she hugs you on weekends like she never wants to let go. So you begin. The next few hours pass in a blur. You work faster than ever before. The woman beside you helps with everything. She hands you tools before you ask, adjusts the light when you need it, and stays calm the whole time. You cannot help but wonder how many times she has done this before. Another hour passes. Your back hurts. Your legs feel numb. Sweat runs down your face and into your eyes, but your hands stay steady. At last, you begin to close the wound. You place the final stitch and tie the last knot. The crime boss is alive. You stand there quietly, staring at the table. You do not feel proud. You do not even feel relieved. You just feel empty, as if you left part of yourself in that room. The man in the suit walks in. Better than I expected, he says. You pull off your gloves and throw them away. You tell him you are done. Then you ask to go home. You want to see your daughter. You want to sleep in your own bed. Most of all, you want to forget this night ever happened. But the suited man does not move. Soon, he says. Then he presses a button on the wall. At once, the glass walls turn white. You cannot see outside anymore. You turn quickly and rush to the door, but it is locked. You push against it. Nothing. You hit the glass with your fist. Still nothing. Slowly, you turn back around, your heart pounding. The crime boss is awake. His eyes are open, fixed on you. He studies you calmly, almost like a cat watching a mouse. Then he smiles. You saved my life, he whispers. His voice is weak, but clear. You nod and tell him you only did what they asked, and now you want to go home. You have a daughter, a family, and a life waiting outside. He shakes his head. A gift like yours, he says, should not be wasted on house pets. In the corner, you notice a bed, a desk, and a stack of medical books. Panic rises in your chest. You say no. You tell him your daughter needs you. He calmly promises she will be cared for. You look at the locked door and finally understand the truth. You thought you were making choices, but all along, you were the one being trapped.